Okay, so today we're going to go over all of the content in Chapter 1 of Effective Business and Professional Writing from Problem to Proposal by William Magrino. So we start with the question, what's your problem? In order to really understand a lot of the fundamentals in this course, we need to build a foundation. That foundation is understanding the 6 P's. So let's start. The very first P is problem. What is the problem? You should be able to identify a problem that you're trying to solve, which is the reason why you're writing your business proposal to begin with. 2, population. Who does this problem affect? 3, paradigm. What research can you use to help develop rationale for your plan? 4, plan. What plans of action can you develop using the research you've done on your paradigm? 5, patron. Who would be willing to fund this project? Why would they be interested in doing so? 6, price. What is your estimated budget for this project? How can you justify this price using research? You see, the problem is, in order to start this project, you must first identify a problem that you would like to solve. Please note that sometimes the best problems are not global problems since they're impossible to solve in just a 15-page paper. Some of the best problems are smaller, more local problems that you can oftentimes find in your community, which may even be at Rutgers. You might feel the urge to immediately come up with a plan, but for the purposes of this class, you must simply stick with identifying and quantifying the problem. So, you're probably wondering, what does she mean by quantify? Well, how do you know this is a problem? Can you offer proof? Can you identify the population affected by this problem? Can you provide information about how many people are affected? And if you can, how do you know? As you can see, this is leading to the idea that we need research to back everything. What is a paradigm anyway? A paradigm is a research-based rationale that answers these 2 questions. How do you know that your plan will solve the problem? And why try to solve the problem this specific way rather than any number of other ways? Please keep in mind, the actual definition of a paradigm is oftentimes forgotten or confused by the time the midterm comes around, so this is essential that you know this information. The bottom line is, as humans, we have a tendency to want to come up with our own solution to a problem. It's natural. But for the purposes of this course, we can't do this. It's not going to work for you. Instead, you need to first do a lot of research on the problem that you end up choosing, and you need to find out what other plans have previously been successful. Once we find data that shows how these plans have been successful in the past, we can then use these paradigms to guide our own projects. Basically, you can't trust your own instincts here. There are other people who have done this research before you. Read about what they have done and use their information to help guide your own ideas. This will make for the most efficient and effective solution to your actual problem. You want to come up with a plan of your own, so you will use the research you've done on paradigms to help guide your own plan. You will combine some of the ideas that you found in your research with your own unique ideas in order to create a unique plan. You will be citing your research a great deal in your project proposal. You must use the research as rationale for your own plan. Remember, you're trying to convince a patron to back you up here. Why should they be willing to fund your project? Please keep in mind that you're not asking them for $10, $20, $100. Most of the time you're going to be asking them for thousands, sometimes millions of dollars. So you need to be really persuasive in, choosing how you're going to pitch this to them. Going on to patron and price. When considering who your patron should be, ask yourself a few questions. Why would this person be interested in my project proposal? How are they affected by this problem? Would they have the money to back my plan? I'm not talking their personal money. Almost no one will give you their personal money out of pocket. But you want to make sure that wherever they work, or if they belong to some sort of a foundation or organization, that they have funds that are used for problems like your own. So make sure you research that as well. How would they benefit from partnering with you? You want to make sure that you're as persuasive as you can be when you're writing your proposal so that they can see, okay, I'm giving all this money out, but I'm benefiting from it too. Going on to price. It's important to note that your price is something that will continuously evolve over the course of the semester. You will always use your research as a guide to help you develop an estimated cost. You will come up with a concrete budget by the time you hand in your final proposal. So if your midterm budget doesn't match up with your final budget, it's quite normal because oftentimes you find more research and then your budget ends up evolving.